The Dodgers win on opening day. We've got our big takeaways. We're going to grade Blake Snell's first start as a Dodger and why this Dodgers team could be an all-time team because of what we saw yesterday. Also, Kike Hernandez, he's out with an illness and a new Dodgers lineup that we could be seeing for this season. All that more coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live.
It's time for Dodger baseball. Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball. The Dodgers are building a dynasty.
You got it, Ryan, parade! We got it, parade! The Dodgers punch back and head to the championship series! Ohtani starts the 50-50 club! Milky Magic! Freeman hits the ball to right field! She is gone! Start the party, Los Angeles! Your Dodgers have won the World Series!
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain, credentialed member of Dodgers Media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Now, if you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell. Hit the like button. Drop all your comments on all things Dodger baseball. And also, we are still accepting submissions for the Rookie of the Year, the Rookie of the Year, the Roki Sasaki jersey giveaway that we will be doing shortly here. All you have to do is comment Rookie of the Year down below and be sure you're subscribed to the channel and you have that notification bell on. Another reminder, be sure to subscribe to our new Discord channel. Thousands of members, lots of great feedback from you guys. And it's not just enough to be in the Discord channel. If you want to take it to the next level, get VIP Nation access. You can call into Dodgers Dugout Live. We're going to start bringing that back extensively in the coming weeks. Exclusive merch, behind-the-scenes content, interviews, Q&As. It's just getting started, and we lowered our price down to $6.99. Kelly Oshiro, she just won a really awesome Shohei Ohtani Yamamoto belt, the one that they wear. So we're doing exclusive giveaways over there as well. So be sure to join the Discord. Also, the Big Lead Podcast. That's my new channel, my new show on all things sports, all the hottest stories in less than an hour. So do me a huge favor and join the Big Lead. But of course, every episode, we've got the Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I asked you guys over on the X, should the Dodgers go all out to try to set the all-time regular season wins record that's currently 116? And this one is close. This was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. And 51% of Dodgers fans right now say yes, they should go all out. If they can set that record, they should go for it. 49% say no. So that's one of our closest polls that we've seen in a while. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts on that? I'll give you my thoughts later. And we're also looking for all of your comments of the show. If you get a comment of the show, we're going to feature it on Instagram, feature it on X. And we'll be answering all your questions later for the 7th inning stretch. Got my man, Tony Taters. Antonio rocking with us, looking for all your comments. Got Noel Sanchez rocking his Dodger blue t-shirt today. Is that a jersey?
No, shirt.
Is that yeah?
Shirt.
Do you like jerseys?
I do like jerseys. There was actually a great Yamamoto World Series jersey that our guy Antonio bought, so I'm surprised he's not wearing it. But I like my jerseys. They're pretty nice.
I'm not look. I got a Yamamoto Murakami jersey. In Japan, and I'm just like, I put it on. I'm like, bro, it's just like I don't have the jersey.
Doug, which World Series gold jersey are you gonna buy?
None of them. But if I were going to buy one, I would say I'll go with Freddie Freeman. Just because of the walk-off grand slam, the moment. I did see long lines yesterday for the gold edition jerseys, but they weren't flying off the racks like I expected them to be flying off the racks. I mean, there definitely was a lot of people wearing them. I think they are a keepsake. I think it's a great way to remember the team. And the authentic version looks better than the kind of the ones that you see a lot of people wearing. But yeah, for me, nothing is better than that Dodger script and Dodger blue. I still prefer the 2021s with the gold outlines. But still, I'll go with Freddie Freeman. How about you, Noel?
Yeah, Freddie's a good one because we're always kind of gonna relate the World Series.
He's the
to
MVP,
that
right?
MVP, yeah, always to him. But first World Series for Shohei too. I think I might.
Can't go wrong with the Shohei jersey.
Yeah, but I think he's gonna have many more World Series. We're gonna relate that series.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a point in Los Angeles where like 1 in 4 households are going to have a Shohei Ohtani jersey. It's just going to be, is it the World Series ones, the City Connects, the normal one? How about you, Antonio? Would you get a Kershaw Gold Edition even though he did not pitch in the World Series? I'm pretty sure you would, right?
You know I would, but if I had yes, sir. But you know, if I had to pick, a player that played, I would actually get a Tommy Edman one, you know?
Tommy Tanks.
Tommy Tanks
looking strong. 2 home runs.
My breakout player of the year.
Your breakout player of the year, Tommy Edman. And yeah, absolutely. He's looking like a guy who, if he makes an all-star team, that is a breakout year for Tommy Edman. But like we always do for Dodgers Dugout Live, we got to start with the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
And the hottest story in Dodger baseball is that the Dodgers are 3-0. They're on pace to win 162 games this season. Shohei Ohtani has 2 home runs, and he's on pace for 108 home runs on the season. This team, yesterday, they beat a very good Detroit Tigers team that was taking really good at-bats, getting the pitch count up on Blake Snell, and the Dodgers did not have their best game at all by any stretch. Blake Snell had the 1-2-3 inning in the first, but outside of that, you did not have one more 1-2-3 inning for the rest of the game. No more clean innings for the final 8 frames for Los Angeles Dodgers. And offensively, you had the home runs. You lived by the long ball yesterday. You had 3 home runs. Tommy Edman hit a bomb. Teoscar Hernandez hit one in the 5th off a Scooble. And then Shohei Ohtani, to give them back the lead there late, he hits another home run. So you got 3 home runs from the Dodgers. All in all, they didn't even create a lot of scoring opportunities. They were just 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position, left 3 Dodgers on base, but it was living by the long ball. Like I said, you only had 1 guy with 2 hits yesterday, and it was Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things. He's hitting .417, 1,000 slugging percentage through 3 games. And that, to me, was my first big takeaway from this game, is that this team has so much talent. This team is so stacked that even when they're not playing their best baseball, you can go out there and beat a good team like the Detroit Tigers. And that was evidenced by what this team did yesterday at the plate when they needed it. They needed a big home run. You step up and you get a big home run. And yeah, that can be a bad habit, but bottom of the 2nd inning, Tommy Edman, he takes Scooble deep, a 1-1 count. He just crushes a sinker, 95 miles per hour. Boom! 2nd home run of the year off of lefty. Tommy Tanks is that man. I talked to him in Tokyo, and I asked him about this power surge and if this is going to be a part of his game moving forward. He told me that what has unlocked it is flattening the bat path out on his swing. It makes it more direct to the ball. It's a very streamlined swing, and he's strong, and he's going to hit for power. And you're going to see more than 13 home runs from him. And he also told me that this is something that has happened since joining the Dodgers. So when you join the Dodgers, you do it for a reason. And it's usually because their scouts see something in your swing that they can improve upon. And clearly, Edman has taken to that. The Dodgers have given them the analytics and all the training and all the coaching to help him get to the next level. And we're seeing that with Tommy Edman. And it looks like he's going to be an all-star. I really feel like in my heart of hearts, he's going to push for an all-star team selection because of the power, which is going to help his OPS. It's going to help his overall numbers. And he's already a very dynamic, versatile player. So, yeah, love what I see him out of Tommy Edman. And then later in the game, after the Tigers had taken the lead in the top of the 5th inning, Manuel Margot hit a sac fly to center, scoring Gleyber Torres to make it 2-1 Tigers. Well, bottom of the 5th inning, Teoscar Hernandez at the plate after an Andy Pages 1-out single and a Mookie Betts 2-out walk. Teoscar Hernandez, first pitch on Tariq Skubal, he hits an absolute tank, and this is what Teoscar Hernandez does. Big spots, big moments. He's clutch. Here's Teo.
He swings, sends one high in the air, deep to center field. Back is Kreidler. He will not get it. A 3-run home run for Teoscar Hernandez. seam fastball. The Dodgers back on top.
And before the game, Dave Roberts was telling us that there is a Teo tax. And I love to hear that from Dave Roberts. The Teo tax is that even though you have a lineup that has Shohei Ohtani and Freddie Freeman and Mookie Betts, MVP players, you have to deal with Teoscar Hernandez. You have to account for him. And yes, he's not a future Hall of Famer, at least right now, but he's a Silver Slugger. He's an all-star. He crushes left-handed pitching. That is what he does. He is a career 139 weighted runs created plus against left-handers. He had a 154 weighted runs created plus against lefties in 2024. He is an absolute beast when it comes to going up against southpaws. That is something that this offense lacked a few years ago. He was supposed to be their lefty masher. He is their lefty masher. And the big takeaway for me is the lineup construction. Because yesterday, you had Teoscar Hernandez batting in the 3-hole and Freddie Freeman batting 4th. So the lineup yesterday, Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Teoscar, and then Freddie Freeman. So you had two right-handed bats in Betts and Hernandez going back-to-back after Shohei, leading into Freddie Freeman. So there wasn't this staggering of the lineup that they like to use. So expect to see that this season. Expect to see Teo in the 3-hole against lefties, making life absolutely miserable for southpaws. And then you got Edman, Will Smith, Max Muncy, Miguel Rojas, and Andy Paez to fill out that lineup. So, yeah, Tariq Skubal, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's someone that could win a Cy Young this season. He's that good. And the Dodgers were able to get multiple home runs off of him. And that is something that has been the recipe for this team. If you want the dub, you've got to slug. So, offensively, that's how they got it done. Home run from Edman. Home run from Teoscar Hernandez. But they needed another home run late in the game. And, of course, that's going to come from Shohei Ohtani. So later in the game, after the Tigers had gotten another run, thanks to a home run from Torkelson off of Alex Vesia, it was a 4-3 game. And then bottom of the 7th inning, it was a 1-run game. And Shohei Ohtani, he hits a bomb to give the Dodgers a nice bit of cushion there that they needed, especially considering what happened after that.
Here's the 3-2. Shohei hits this one to left. It's carrying over the wall. He delivers again. Ohtani a home run. Tom Hanks must have called it. Magic called it. And the Dodger fans are looking forward to seeing that for years to come.
Shohei Ohtani.
So Shohei Ohtani doing Shohei Ohtani things. I think that he was personally upset that Tommy Edman had the home run lead for the team. And he said, you know what? No, not on my watch. He has to go out there and get a show bomb for himself. And it's showtime every time he's at the plate. And I think the difference this year compared to last year is that he is more relaxed. And Dave Roberts said that after the game, is the fact that Shohei Ohtani isn't adjusting to a new team, isn't pressing to get that first home run, isn't dealing with the Ippei Mizuhara betting scandal that was something that he dealt with early last season. Shohei's locked in. He already has 2 home runs in the Dodgers' first 3 games. My bold prediction entering this season, you got to go big, right? Fortune favors the bold. I said Shohei Ohtani would hit 60 home runs. And the reason I thought that was because last season, he had 54 home runs, and he got off to a slow start. He hit his first home run in 2024 in the Dodgers' 9th game of the season, and it was against the San Francisco Giants. It was his 33rd at-bat of the season. He already has 2 in 12 at-bats this season. He's on pace for 108. Not going to hit 108, but I do think that he's going to put up big numbers. Now, will he get to 60? That's still lofty, but I think 50-plus, if he stays healthy, is going to happen for sure. And we'll see what pitching does to his bat. But still, I mean, this is Shohei Ohtani. And after the game, he talked about just hitting that, what would ultimately be the game-winning home run, and how special that was for him to win on a day where they were celebrating their World Series.
一緒だってどう思いますか いいところで打てたと思いますし、はいまあ、こうやってセレモニーして、まあ、特別な開幕戦の中で1試合目取れたというのは大きいことかなと思います。
I think it was a huge win being able to hit in that spot today with the opening ceremony. You wanted to make it a win.
So there you go. You want to win. I mean, it's always a bummer to lose on ring night because it makes it seem like you were distracted, like you weren't focused on the game at hand, even though that's not the truth. That's just kind of the optics of the situation. But I think it's really interesting to see Shohei deal with something and experience something that he never had before in his career. The Angels, they didn't sniff the postseason. They were in Cancun in early August, right? The Dodgers, on the other hand, first year, year one, he wins a World Series. So he gets to experience a champagne shower in the clubhouse for the first time. He gets to experience running out and dogpiling there in the World Series and celebrating with his teammates. He gets to experience being on a bus, a double-decker bus, and partying at Dodger Stadium, and he told the Dodger Stadium fans how special that moment was for him to have a World Series celebration. Now he gets to celebrate raising a flag and seeing a Dodgers baseball with 2024 on it that represented the franchise's 8th World Series title. He gets to experience all of this wearing the gold jersey. We talked a little bit about that as well, what it's been like to go through this experience of celebrating winning a title in year one with the Dodgers.
そうですね、プレッシャーっていうのは、実質開幕戦ではないので、もう開幕してますし、比較的東京シリーズよりは自然に入れたかなとは思いますけど、セレモニーやってまた新たに連覇したいなという気持ちが強くなったのかなと思ってます。
This was technically not the opening series for us, so in that sense, I was able to play the game the way I wanted to. And with that being said, though, playing in front of these fans and in this circumstance, it did make me want to win. Be able to motivate myself to win another championship.
So that's what I wanted to hear is, does seeing this, does experiencing this, does seeing the gold jerseys, winning the World Series, does that get addicting? Does that drive you to win more World Series titles? Well, you heard Stan Kasten, Dodgers president CEO, on this show. He told us that Shohei told him after the World Series, not even celebrating for more than 5 minutes, saying, I want to win 9 more. And I think that that is the case. And to hear him say that experience like this, the big takeaway is not, oh, it's what we did and it's awesome. I have my World Series. Let's go to the Hall of Fame. At least I got one, right? I got one more than Barry Bonds ever had, right? You can't compare us from that standpoint. No, it's motivation. It's how do we use this as fuel to win more World Series titles. So love to hear that from Shohei Ohtani because, like I said, that was the game winner because in the top of the 8th inning, Zach McKinstry, he hits a triple. Old friend Zach McKinstry, Z-Mac. He hits a triple off of newly acquired super reliever Tanner Scott to start the top of the 8th. And it was a really nice piece of hitting. It was a 4-seam fastball, a little down velocity standpoint from what we see from Tanner Scott. Wasn't pumping 96, 97. It was 94, left it out over the plate. McKinstry, he triples. And then he bounces back. He punches out Rogers with a 4-seamer. And then Carpenter, he hits a sac fly to left. That scored McKinstry to make it 4-5. So the Dodgers still holding on to that 1-run lead. And then you jump to the top of the 9th inning. Blake Tryon out there. Gleyber Torres gets a leadoff single. And then he strikes out Green with a sinker. Torres stole second to put the tying run at second. And then Tryon walks Torkelson. So you were a little nervous there, right? I mean, there was some moments there, okay, we don't want to blow a save early on in the season, and then he bounces back, he buckles down, he strikes out Sweeney with a nasty sweeper at the bottom of the zone for the second out, and then he gets key to foul to first to end the game. So the Dodgers get the win 5-4. The relievers weren't at their best. You saw guys giving up hits, guys giving up walks. They weren't as sharp as we've seen them in the postseason. I mean, Ben Kasperius, he gave up a hit. Vesia a hit. Scott a hit. Tryon a hit. Kasperius a walk. Tryon a walk. So they gave up some hits. They gave up some walks, but they still were able to win. But let's talk about the number one story for me in the Dodgers home opener. That is Blake Snell. Blake Snell, if you look at his line, He gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, went 5 innings, had more walks than strikeouts, had 4 walks and 2 strikeouts through 95 pitches, 53 strikes, wasn't incredibly efficient. He did generate 14 swings and misses. He didn't have the best feel for the curveball, didn't have the best feel for the slider, wasn't always executing that changeup, but he did bear down and execute pitches when he needed to, and that's what you see early on this season. Guys that can make pitches in big spots to avoid giving up runs in big innings, that is what separates the good pitchers from the great pitchers, the elite pitchers, and that tells you how good Blake Snell's stuff is that he cannot be on his game and be multi-Cy Young Blake Snell, Snellzilla. He's not Snellzilla, but still can be effective than 70% of the league, 80% of the league. That shows you the ceiling that this guy has. And the flashes were seriously there too. I mean, you have to look at some of his best moments and say, okay, give me more of that. But here was Blake Snell after the game talking about what went right for him and what he needs to improve on moving forward.
Yeah, excited. Just a lot of emotions. Yeah, I was really looking forward to that. But a lot to learn. Got away with some pitches, didn't get away with some pitches, but overall, I like what I learned today. With even seeing like the swings, the contact, get in the zone a little bit more. My misses weren't off by a lot, but they were still misses. So lots of improvement. Yeah, I mean, I like to think that when the runners are in scoring position, I dig down and find a way to get out of it. Definitely, I think my only 1, 2, 3 inning was the first inning, and then after that it was just a lot of fighting to get outs. But no, I'm excited about where I'm at and a lot to learn, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, I mean, I think, once I get more consistent with my pitches in the zone, I learned a lot too. Once the game ended, I could kind of tell what they were doing and what they were just by their takes and reads. So there's a lot that I learned there that's going to help me, moving forward, facing Atlanta next, and just continue to get better. It's the first game, so excited about it.
So a couple things to take away from his comments there. It's the first game, and we're talking about a pitcher who's one of, if not the best second half pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball, a guy that has been a slow starter throughout his career. So you're not going to see the best version of Blake Snell for a while now, right? That's just how it is with Blake Snell. And that's how you would want it if you're a Dodgers fan, right? You want to have him pitching at his best towards the second half and into the postseason. But you'll take a guy that gives up 2 runs in 5 innings and looked filthy during certain spots, and you saw the potential there. And he also talked about just understanding what the Tigers' approach was and how they were looking to get runs off of him. And he started to realize that as the start went along. And I was talking to a Dodgers pitcher, one of the Dodgers pitchers in the clubhouse after the game, and he told me that one thing that they have talked about as a group is that the starting rotation is so strong. The starting rotation is so strong that they're preparing for a game plan against them where you're going to see a lot of takes. And you are going to see teams try to get those pitch counts up because as great as the talent is in the bullpen, you're going to take your chances with bullpen guys because of the variance. Because as good as they are, they could be having an off day. And the more pitchers you face, the more chances you have to find a guy that's on his off day. So the game plan against Snell last night was to lay off of everything down in the zone and try to get him to elevate and try to get him to miss pitches out over the plate. And that certainly was the strategy against him. That's why they lack some efficiency. But Snell will tell you, you just got to be a little more efficient. Top of the second inning, he walked Torkelson, missing with the changeup down the zone. He gave the single to Margot. That was a four-seamer that caught too much of the plate. He gets Key to ground to a fielder's choice, and then he got Baez to ground out to third. They got Rogers to fly to left. So that inning, second and third, with the ability to freeze the opponent there and avoid any runs, that was big. They were 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position against him. And then the fourth inning is where the walks really started to catch up to him. And he gave up 2 walks, a single. He loaded the bases. He did get a punch out to end the inning, though. And that's another example right there. He struck out Kreidler to end the inning, a nasty changeup down the zone. And then before that, Torkelson actually scored on a wild pitch, and Rogers got the second, so that tied things up at 1. And then later in the game, in the 5th inning, after a Gleyber Torres 1-out single and a Green single, so back-to-back singles and a Torkelson walk, you had another situation where his bases loaded, and then Margot, he hit a sac fly. That made it 2-1. So too much traffic against him, too many walks, too many missed pitches, but he is going to find the feel for the curveball and the slider. And I did see a lot of zip, and he was behind the fastball too. So I think the fastball looked impressive. It's just about adding those secondary pitches. I still have no doubts. I think that Blake Snell is going to have a great season. I think he'll be in the Cy Young mix once again. He actually is further along than he was in his first year with the Giants. So you got a good version of Blake Snell. I asked Blake Snell after the game what it was like to pitch at Dodger Stadium, because he has historically been one of the best opposing pitchers to pitch at Chavez Ravine. But the difference yesterday was he had the support of the fans behind him. So I asked him what it was like to pitch for the first time at Dodger Stadium as a Dodger, and here's what Snell had to say.
And well, you pitch so well in this ballpark, but tonight you actually get to pitch where you're the home guy, you're not the opposition. Did you feed off that crowd? You mentioned just how pitching around 50,000 fans here was going to be big for you. What was that experience like?
Yeah, no, I loved it. I'm excited for more of it, especially when I get better and better. You know, first game, there's just so much that you're not expecting, you are expecting, and to get that out of the way, I'm excited to get that out of the way. Winning, even better. No, it was cool. The fan, like just feeling the energy, how much the fans love the team, and just getting ready, and how much they were just encouraging they were before the start. How much they just showed love to me. I mean, that was pretty cool. When you go out there, you just want to do everything you can to win.
So, yeah, you heard there, man. He loved it. He wants more of it. And I think that he's going to feed off that all season long. So my grade for Blake Snell, I'm going to give him a B-. B- because the command wasn't great. We know what he looks like when he's at his best. We know that he's someone that has that no-hitter potential. One of my bold takes this year is that we're going to get 2 no-hitters. 2 no-hitters, one from Blake Snell, and the other no-hitter is going to be a team no-hitter. A team no-hitter, which isn't really a no-hitter. I think that's more of the other team can't hit anyone, right, than anything else. But still, I'll count it. I'll count it for sure. I got a no-hitter for Blake Snell. We got some chats down below. Ray Soto, 499. Happy 3-0 Friday. A nice little fire emoji. Give you a fire take for that. We got Jose Aguirre. Yo, what up, D-Mac? Going to the game tonight to see our boys in blue get their rings. Tortoise for life. We got Glenn Fujimoto. Tigers are for real. Pressured Blake all day. Yeah, so like I said, if there's one thing you take from the show is that I did speak to a Dodgers pitcher yesterday, and they are prepared for opposing teams because of how good their starting rotation is and the depth they have, that the approach is going to be a little different this year, where they're going to try to lay out pitches, make guys work, get those pitch counts up, and try to take their chances on the Dodgers bullpen. So it's kind of a pick your poison situation, but that is how they're viewing this, and that is how they're expecting teams to approach them. But hey, a win on opening day, you can't ask for much more than that. Blake Snell gets his first win, so that's what it's all about too. If you're a big wins guy, which I'm not, but still, it looks good to be 1-0. But coming up next, another Dodger experiencing an illness and the best moments from Dodgers opening day. And then we're taking your questions on the 7th inning stretch. What up, Dodgers Nation? D-Mac here to remind you that if you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast. You can find it wherever you get your podcast. So if you want to listen to the show in audio form, when you're driving to Dodger Stadium, when you're driving from Dodger Stadium, when you're commuting to work, wherever it is, you definitely want to lock into the podcast. We're going to start featuring some podcast exclusives, interviews. So definitely, even if you do watch the show daily on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Dugout Live podcast wherever your podcast. So be sure to do that. It really supports the channel. And as always, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, the number one Dodgers show and podcast on YouTube. So yesterday, it was a special day at Dodger Stadium, and there were some surprises. There always are. And the coolest one to me had to be the first pitch. And the moment of the year last year, one of the greatest moments in Dodger history, was happening when it was Freddie Freeman hitting that walk-off grand slam. It was the first time in 696 games in the World Series that a player had a walk-off grand slam. Now, the Dodgers have some of the great moments in the history of the World Series. Kirk Gibson's walk-off in 1988 off of Dennis Eckersley. And then you get a very similar moment in that it's an injured player in the World Series, left-handed hitter, deposits the ball into right field, and Freddie Freeman, he was out there for the first pitch, and all of a sudden, Kirk Gibson comes out, who does broadcasting duties for the Detroit Tigers. He was a Tiger for many, many years. He comes out, and Kirk Gibson, Gibby meet Freddie, he throws the first pitch, a special moment at Dodger Stadium.
Gibby. Meet Freddie.
Just a great moment right there. A great moment. Those two really are going to be synonymous with each other. I mean, they're going to be kind of in history just because, look, I mean, that moment really just sticks out because we thought that you could never top Kirk Gibson in the World Series, and somehow you could make the case that Freddie Freeman, just because it was the Grand Slam, the Yankees, it's 1A, 1B, 1A, 1A, 1, whatever it is, two of the greatest moments. And you saw a lot of people. I was looking around because I went down to film it, and I was looking to my left, I was looking to my right, and I saw multiple Dodgers fans getting emotional, tearing up because of that first pitch. It was something that was really special. And there's a big difference between having a great career, an elite career, Hall of Fame career, but we've seen guys have great careers that never have great moments. They never have those moments that you'll never forget. It's kind of the whole thing. Heroes get remembered, legends never die. And I think that was that moment. Heroes get remembered, legends never die with Freddie Freeman and Kirk Gibson. Those guys are just absolutely legendary. And it was just a great moment too, because you had Freddie Freeman out there with his family and his kids were there. Everything kind of they went through last year to just have it culminate in one of the best moments that we've ever seen in the sport. It was really, really special to see. I really love seeing that. Just pretty awesome stuff. And then how about Ice Cube? This was the surprise. This was the surprise. You felt something brewing. You felt like something was happening. And that was when they get their little blue carpet treatment. They get introduced. They go all lining up. And then they go to the video monitor. And then you start to hear the song, You Know How We Do It by Ice Cube. And you're like, okay, it's got to be him. It's got to be Ice Cube driving the championship trophy down through that looks like is that a Bel Air? That's like it's like a 57 Bel Air, right? It looks like a 57 Chevy there. Dodger blued out, throwing up the dub, and he drives all the way down in the foul territory, gets the World Series trophy, raises it, and it was a great moment, man. It was an absolute great moment. And I've seen people out there saying that, oh, Ice Cube, is he the Dodgers mascot or something like that? No, he's not. He's not the Dodgers mascot. This is what success looks like in Los Angeles. Sports and culture here are intertwined more than most cities. Look at New York, Spike Lee and the Knicks. I mean, in these big cities that have stars that emerge from their city, that is something that just happens. And Ice Cube represents the West Coast. He represents hip hop and rap music. And if you grow up in LA, if you grow up in Southern California, yeah, you've had some awesome moments to Ice Cube's music. Today was a good day, right? I mean, so that is something that I think is special because it shows like, hey, like what the Dodgers are about right now, it's not just a great team that's winning championships, right? It's about the Hollywood culture, the culture of Southern California, from celebrities like seeing Tom Hanks and Rob Lowe to rappers and hip hop artists like Ice Cube. Everyone that is embracing this team comes from different parts. So I think that is what makes it cool. Is Ice Cube represents a Southern California, represents LA, right? And I think that was really cool to see. And I mean, it was pretty awesome. It was pretty epic to see him out there. How are people reacting to the Ice Cube stuff, Noel? I mean, it was kind of a surprise.
No, absolutely. I think there were like people beforehand saying that they saw little images and like the Dodgers filming that teaser video when he was driving the blue car. But once he arrived, I think he just brought the house down playing. Today was a good day, coming through and delivering the trophy. Epic moment, and I saw nothing but positive reflection on social media.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I said, it's like if you think he's the mascot, if you think this is a bad thing or whatever, I mean, it's like, just say you're not from LA. I mean, or you don't understand the culture here. I mean, having Ice Cube roll up in a 57 Chevy blue, throwing up a dub is about as West Coast as you can get. I literally saw like a 67-year-old white woman with 2 dubs in the sky, right? Like straight up. My God. Yeah, like I mean, like it's totally different. So I thought it was really cool. Thought it was pretty epic. And look, let's be honest, he was our good luck charm too.
Yeah.
Bow down versus Fat Joe, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So I thought it was really cool. That was really legendary, and I thought that it was special. It definitely was. It was fun, and the players love it too. I was a little disappointed though. I wanted to see Doc twerk again.
Oh man. Yeah. He'll save it for the next.
He'll save it for
celebration. Yeah.
Exactly. Now
that's special.
That's a good point. He's back to business. Yeah. He's back to business. By the way, too, the other thing that you got did they have? He had the 76 ball too, right? The antenna ball.
Fire.
Yeah. That's a classic as well. But what were your guys' thoughts on Ice Cube? I thought it was great, man. I really did. I mean, bow down. You always kind of think of Ice Cube when you think of this Dodgers World Series. So I thought it was really, really cool. Now, next moment I thought that was the most memorable was them raising that flag. I mean, raising the flag and raising what it means, and showing that right there. Like I like the balls that have the years of the World Series on it with the red outline. They changed it last year and years before when they had the 7 World Series. It was kind of a stretched out kind of years thing. They added these to their spring training facility, so you kind of expected these would be coming. I think it looks great, and I think that what really stands out is they know that those other ones weren't going to work moving forward because they took up too much space. This team is ready to start a Dodgers dynasty. It's time to defend this title. It's time to start a Dodgers dynasty. It's time for Dodger baseball. Now, of course, I'm just kidding. If you guys seen our boy Robert's epic hype video, go check that out on YouTube. But yeah, absolutely. They realize that they're going to need to fill that up. So you're going with smaller ways to celebrate that. So I loved it. I thought those were really, really cool as well. The moment for that was really, really awesome. And then tonight you are going to have the ring night. So we're all excited to see what those rings look like. And it's the Dodgers, man. It's the Dodgers. They're going to go all out. So those are going to be shining for sure. Now, want to mention something about Kike Hernandez. So Kike did not get to Dodger Stadium on Thursday. The plan for him was to rest and rehydrate, and they're going to reevaluate him today. So we'll see how he looks today. I'm sure he wants to be a part of it. He has to be there, right? There's no way. I mean, he literally said he wanted a ring ceremony. He wanted a parade. That's one of the reasons why he came back. So Kike needs to be there. Would not feel the same if he wasn't there. And Roberts said yesterday that he isn't going to start on Friday because you got a right-handed starter, but he's going to be available off the bench. So he's dealing with an injury. He's dealing with an illness. Not an injury, but an illness. And Dave told us yesterday, I got a text from him earlier today that he wasn't feeling well and didn't sleep well and couldn't keep stuff down. Just got some fluids in him, have him rest up, and hopefully we can stay away from him. But let's just hope that it's not what Mookie dealt with. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it's not. I mean, he's around Mookie enough to, if it was contagious, that he may have gotten it. I know that a lot of the players have been dealing with jet lag and just adjusting to that sleep schedule and getting kind of back to their routine. So I'm sure the lack of sleep did not help for Kike Hernandez. So get better, Kike. I don't want to see any more sick Dodgers, okay? Last year was the injuries. Is this year going to be the illnesses? So hopefully there's nothing to that at all, and we're not worrying about it. So, yeah, Kike Hernandez dealing with an illness, not an injury. So that's something to feel good about, the fact that it's nothing like that. And hopefully he'll be back with the Dodgers today, and he'll be able to experience the ring ceremony. But next, let's get to your questions. The 7th inning stretch. And I'm going to tell you guys my takeaways from the Dodgers' new clubhouse too. But here's the 7th inning stretch.
The 7th inning stretch.
We got a $1.99 super chat. That's from Jay Valdez. Shout out to my cousin Pamela. Chew Pamela. Okay, awesome. What up, Pamela? El Machingon. It wasn't about Q getting the spotlight. It's about the connection. West Side connection. The mentality and the inspiration which kept the Dodgers motivated to win. Dodgers being the Dodgers, they wanted to include Q. Yeah, every time, you know what's funny? Every time I hear bow down right now, from here on out, I actually don't even think of the Dodgers first. I think of Alex Verdugo in the other dugout with the hat to the side.
He was.
I'm like, if I was the Yankees, I was like, oh, yeah, we're going to lose. Yeah, we're going to lose. We got our own players rooting for the other team's songs. I knew it. Alex Verdugo. It was Alex Verdugo. Alex Verdugo was a big part of the World Series, though. I mean, he was the final out. So that'll always be good for him. We got Hawkman. Edmund picking up where he left off last season. Absolutely. Tom Hanks was doing his own scorebook like a G. Yeah, Tom Hanks, man. I've seen him at so many Dodgers games throughout the years, even before the team was good. He's been a true blue Dodgers fan for a long, long time. Tom Hanks is the real deal, man. He is the real deal. Easily a top 10 actor of all time. We got the Jose Aguirre. Tigers kept fighting all game. They're going to be tough to deal with this year. Rooting for them in the AL. Then A. Cantor, can't believe we smacked around Scooble. Yeah, I mean, look, that's something to look at all season long. How do the Dodgers fare against elite competition? And I think that's another reason why I do truly believe this has the potential to be an all-time team. This Dodgers team for so many years have been dealing with the cloud of expectations. And that cloud of expectations has had media members and haters and fans saying they can't win on the big stage when it matters most, that they're a regular season team. Things have changed. They have won in the postseason. Now I think the focus has completely changed. They got that massive monkey off their back, and now it's just about focusing on doing what they do best, and that's winning baseball games at a prolific rate. And that's why I think that this team has the potential to be a dynasty, because they're not chasing anymore. They're not pressing anymore. They're just in a great state of, hey, we know we're better than these guys. We have more talent. Our players are better. Our players can hit better. We can pitch better. We have more depth. And now they don't have to worry about pressing and forcing anything in the pressure of winning a World Series. And I think that's something that was evident yesterday by their ability to get home runs off of a guy who's one of the best pitchers in the league, in Tariq Skubal. It's, oh, you got Skubal? Great. How much pressure is this going to be for us? We already won a World Series, right? We came back down 2-1. Is that pressure against us? No. So this team knows that. They realize that, and they execute in big spots. Glenn Fujimoto. Will Smith looks more patient at the plate this year. Yeah, I was going to ask Dave about that today. Will Smith looks like he's so much better. The walks, the hits, the patience at the plate. I'm looking for a big year for Will Smith. I mean, he basically was a 200 hitter for the last 3 months of the season. Still made the All-Star team, but I think it's very important for Will Smith to be more consistent and not have those dry spells and stay healthy, quite frankly, because you're talking about a guy that is behind the dish for the majority of the time, having to catch pitchers with some of the filthiest stuff in the sport. Roki Sasaki's splitter, Tyler Glasnow's curveball, Blake Snell's slider, Yamamoto's yo-yo curve, Yamamoto's slider, all of these incredible pitches that are very difficult to catch. And to do that on top of hitting, it shows you the kind of player that he is. So I'm expecting a big year from him. So all you guys asked me about that new Dodgers clubhouse. So I was inside the Dodgers clubhouse yesterday. I talked to multiple players about it, and they all love it. They say it's state of the art. They say it's more comfortable. You look at the lockers themselves, there's not like PlayStation 5s in them and plays to go take naps and things like that. It's not like that. It's not like a college football recruiting tool or anything like that, but there is more space. They've got these cool digital LED type light situations where they're lit up, kind of got a little mood lighting behind there. And then instead of just having placards where it's printed, it's digital. So anytime that they're going to call a player up, they're going to put their name there, they'll type it in with something, and then they'll have the little picture of the player right next to it. So that's cool. But the biggest takeaway for me was just the space. Last year, for years in the Dodgers clubhouse, when you had a lot of media members in there, especially after they signed Shohei Ohtani, it was like you're in a very crowded area and everyone's kind of bunched up towards each other. Now you don't have that. There's just more space, and it's really cool. In the middle of the Dodgers clubhouse, they have this really cool black and blue lit up thing that looks like the shape of the Dodgers scoreboards, the hexagonal look, and it has all these stars on it. It's super cool. And then you got couches, you got chairs, and you got another cage. So it's just cleaner. It just looks better. It feels better. And I think that's kind of the biggest takeaway. You're not seeing a bunch of, like, there's not a pool table in there and a slide or anything like that. It's not what it's supposed to be, but there's more space. The players love it. The chairs are comfortable, and the lighting just looks really cool too. Have you seen some of these looks on the lighting? If you want to go play the Blake Snell clip, but take away the sound, you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. You got the lighting that's a little different. You got the look of it.
And well, you pitched so well.
Here, just mute it real quick. There you go. See, it's just different lighting. There's lights everywhere. There's lights where there's these little places to put their hat and their drinks, whatever. You got the hangers there. So yeah, I'll continue to give you kind of more takeaways from the clubhouse and things that are different. So I'm going to ask more players about it today. But just initially, it's bigger. It's bigger. I would say it's about 35% bigger than it was. So from that standpoint, more space is better. So we got RJ Jaft. We got haters saying the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Must be in a conundrum. If the Dodgers go back-to-back, it proves the haters' point, but they won. If the Dodgers lose, their point is moot. Lose. Jose Villanueva, all in all, I got to say today was a good day. Yeah, absolutely. The Dodgers beat the Yankees, not the Lakers beat the Supersonics, but absolutely. Is it a hot dog? Okay, this is another one. I don't know who this is from. Was that? That's the username. The username is it a hot dog or is it the bun?
That's my favorite username so far, yes.
That's a great one. It's the debate, is a hot dog a sandwich? Of course the Dodgers should go for the wins record. If not this team, then who? This is the greatest team constructed in MLB history. They should try to own all the records. Yeah, if you guys have seen me throughout the week, I have said this before. I'll say it again. I picked them to win 115 games, 11 in the postseason. That would put them at 126 wins, which would surpass the 1998 New York Yankees that won 125 games. And it would give Major League Baseball their 72 Dolphins, their 96 Bulls, and you would immediately put the Dodgers right up there with the best teams in the sport. Another thing you would need to do, though, you would have to see what their run would look like. Who do they beat in the NLDS? Who do they beat in the NLCS? That Yankees team, they beat the Padres. The Padres, come on. They were never going to beat the Yankees. You had Vaughn, interesting team, but still, they were never going to beat the Yankees. If the Dodgers have to go against, let's say, a really good Astros team, by the way, the Astros you saw beat the Mets yesterday, and Juan Soto, it wasn't one to remember that at bat at the end where he struck out Josh Hader. He punched him out, and the Astros won. Telling you, the Astros, that's my pick to face the Dodgers in the Fall Classic. So if you beat a good Astros team, if you beat a Mets team again, if you beat another good team in the NLDS, that's a team. I was speaking to Bob Nightingale yesterday. Bob Nightingale, man, I don't know if it's because he lives in Arizona, but he really thinks that Arizona is really going to challenge the Dodgers in this division. We got Eric Jackson. Douglas, what's your thoughts about the Talking Heads picking the Phils to win the NL pennant? I mean, look, the Phillies are a good team. You have a deep rotation. You got Wheeler. You got a really deep lineup that has proven to be good in the postseason. You have Trey Turner, you have Bryce Harper, you got Kyle Schwarber. The Phillies, I think, have a great home field advantage. I think one of, if not the best in sports, in is certainly one of the best, if not the best in baseball too. It is a place to be reckoned with. So if you get home field advantage and you got Bryce Harper, who's still a generational player, sure, I don't think it's insane. I don't think it's insane, really. I mean, I think baseball is a fluky sport and the team doesn't always win, but it's not like they're saying that the Rockies are going to win the NL pennant or anything like that. So yeah, the Phillies are a good team, and the Phillies are a team that they're heavily invested in this current regime, right? They feel like their window is right now. So I would not be surprised if the Dodgers, but quite frankly, I want to see the Dodgers and the Phillies in the NLCS. I think that'd be great for baseball because they got the Mets last year. Mets are pretty solid. Lindor and Juan Soto, but I think star power wise, it'd be great to see Bryce Harper going up against Shohei Ohtani. I definitely would love to see that matchup. We got Frito Reaper Jack revenge game tonight. Dodgers need to be ready. Yeah, it'd be cool to see Jack Flaherty getting his ring tonight. MIA, Flaherty holds a special place in my heart, as do all Dodgers, former present and future. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that when a player wins a ring with the club, they are going to be linked forever, and they're going to have that bond forever. And Jack Flaherty, it was a short time. It was a little summer fling, right? They didn't put a ring on and get married, but it was one hell of a summer. One hell of a summer fling. I'm sure Antonio's had a bunch of those, right?
Let's just say college was a good time.
Whoa. Scarlet and Blue, good matchup last night. Can this be a possible World Series preview? I honestly think it could. They're a sneaky good team. Talking to some of the players about their at-bats, they were very, very impressed with this Tigers lineup. The patience that they had at the plate, the grit that they showed, the pitching. I think they could be buyers at the deadline. You added Gleyber Torres, who had 2 hits for them. Green, Torkelson had the home run. Margot Keith. Absolutely. Like the Dodgers pitchers, from talking to them, they were very impressed with that Tigers lineup. Ultimately, I don't think that they get to the World Series, but they could be a team that no one wants to face in baseball. Gonna baseball. David E. D-Mac, didn't realize Snell calls his pitches. You see that continuing. I think it's a collaborative thing. I think there were people that were making an interaction between Snell and Will Smith in the dugout something and saying he was a diva or whatever. That was not the case at all. Snell got squeezed multiple times by the umpire. In fact, the very first inning when Snell was out there, if we had the ABS system, the second at bat or the third at bat when he was facing Green on the 1-2 count, that slider, that caught the bottom of the zone. If you had ABS, they would have called that a strike. So there were just a couple pitches they called high. There's definitely no frustration from Blake Snell and Will Smith. That just wasn't there. That wasn't true. There was nothing to that. People are getting desperate. Corpino, can we trade Hassan, Kim, and Taylor for Steven Kwan? Well, I would say no, because that would be kind of the dirtiest thing ever if you're the Dodgers to get the surprise pick of Kim and to have him traded. That's not going to happen. And the same thing with him. Bob Levine, whatever happened with Joe Kelly? So I can tell you what I heard about Joe Kelly yesterday. What I heard about Joe Kelly yesterday was that he still wants to pitch, but he only wants to pitch for the Dodgers. That's what I heard about Joe Kelly. And people are wondering, why not the Angels? Southern California, well, the Angels aren't the Dodgers. So maybe he waits things out, sees how things play out for this team. And then I'm sure if other teams have a need for a reliever and they make a pitch to Joe Kelly, he'll consider another team. But I can tell you that he still wants to pitch, and he still wants to pitch for the Dodgers. That's what I heard. But coming up next on the walk-off, an incredible gesture by Tanner Scott, newest Dodger, getting his roll on, giving a nice little gift to his new Dodgers teammates.
The walk-off.
Newest Dodgers reliever, signed a $72 million contract with the Dodgers. He gave his team a nice little surprise, personalized luggage with their signature red numbers on them and a cool little message that said, "They not like us." So you see here, you got Mookie Betts' 50, the Dodger blue, and this was incredible. This was incredible. I know a lot of the players were really surprised by this. They were really happy to get these because these players are on the road. You want nice luggage. This is from a brand. What's it? Beast? I don't know if that's how you pronounce that. I'm sure they're pretty expensive. Let me see if I can get a price on these. But I don't know. Well, do you know how much these cost?
What's up?
Do you know how much these rollers? Yeah.
Oh man, probably in the hundreds for sure. This is pretty high quality rollers. Pretty spacious too.
Yeah, and you got the custom stuff. I mean, it's just a nice gift, man. It really is.
I think too. It's very telling because I mean Tanner got knocked out by the Dodgers last year in the postseason, so he's already getting acclimated. Feels very close to these guys, and really just a good gesture. You know, they're gonna be traveling a lot, and to have so it kind of reminds me of like the team shoes. You know, like in high school, college, when you have team shoes, team rollers, it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Because like, I mean, I was kind of thinking that I'm like, these are pretty nice, but like these dudes, when you see them coming off the plane, when anytime Sujo is dropping her awesome content, you got these guys are like Goyard bags, Louis bags, Gucci bags, and also too, no one wants to like have the same thing as their teammates probably.
Yeah.
But it would be cool kind of if they all did use them. I mean, it would be pretty cool if they did that. I mean, it's not Patrick Mahomes giving his whole offensive lineman Rolexes or anything like that.
Or
But
John Wall back in the day too, when he got his whole team. I think Rolexes too.
you got to get the rollies, right? I mean, that's what Shohei's got to give his whole team like Seiko or something because he's a Seiko dude. I mean, you know, it's not giving the dudes Porsches or anything like that, but it is really cool. It is really cool. It's a great gesture. It shows that he wants to kind of be a part of this winning culture, that they not like us thing. I thought was really, really cool. But this team, ready to rock. Tonight, I will be at Dodgers Stadium once again, and we'll be going live at Dodgers Stadium after the game. So be tuned in to the post-game show, the first one this season at Dodgers Stadium. So be on the lookout for that. All the ring ceremony coverage you're going to find here on Dodgers Nation. Can't wait to see what these rings look like. Any prediction for the rings? I hope I know they're going to be platinum, but wouldn't it be cool if they're gold?
Gold would be pretty tight.
Like, who's done a gold? It's kind of like old fashioned, but I'm so sick of the silver.
Yeah.
Like, go with the gold. Let me know down below. You guys got any predictions for the rings? Here we go. I hope they go with the gold. We got Sai Yoshi tonight. Absolutely. For sure. Shay Mitchell, the actress, owns that brand. Wow. I love Pretty Little Liars. Actually, I don't. But carry-ons are 200 plus. The Poison Clan, they're like $50 at Walmart. Oh, come on now, Poison Clan, you're crazy. Yeah, guys, call your shots. Who's getting home run? Do your final score predictions down below if you want to. I love Mariachi Joe Kelly waxing his wife's Porsche this weekend. Okay, good one. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for this episode. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Discord, and also subscribe to the Big Lead. If you want to do me the biggest favor ever, subscribe to the Big League, guys. And we're doing a giveaway over there as well. So definitely go to the Big Lead one on YouTube and subscribe. Follow me on X and Instagram. And be sure to lock into the post-game show live from Dodger Stadium tonight. So be ready for that one, guys. And also the most important thing is to remember that there's nothing. Oh, I like this. Mickey says, how about some Dodger Blue Sapphire? That'd be crazy. Ishmael says gold to match the opening day unis. We got to Eric Jackson is going to be gold with some sort of flip top bezel. Yeah, I think they're going to do that for sure. Kind of like they did for sure. Jamin, I also hope the rings are gold. I'm telling you, I love gold. But that is going to do it, guys. See you next time. Remember, there's nothing that brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.